The big event of my day today was that I went to see my friend in prison. I haven't seen him for a few years, and when I last saw him, he was a teenager. And today when I saw him, he was a man. It was such a remarkable change. He's grown in so many ways, and he's doing as well as can be expected under the circumstances. And he's somebody that I've known since his childhood. And so it's interesting to see how in some ways he looks so much the same, in some ways he looks so different. Anyway, so that was the big event of my day. Basically 14 hours today were involved in that effort, so I will be figuring out some kind of painting to represent that wonderful event. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do today is just draw the image of people in the visiting room at the prison. Let's see how I'm going to do this. And again, I'm not too worried about trying to make it perfect. I'm just making it so that it's representative of what it was like to be there. That there were like tables and chairs and things. And I went there with a friend. We had a really long drive to get there and many hours drive back. And it was wonderful to be together, to spend so many hours together on this long trip. And for us to both be able to see this young man that we both love. So that was really great. And he also has a big heart. You can't see my heart because it's facing the other way, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big heart surrounding us, because it was a day filled with love, getting to see each other. And I'll have to figure out how to do a very short growth of beard. It was really interesting not being able to take any items into the prison, and so it was hard to not really know exactly what time it was, unless eventually I found a clock on the wall, and then that was better to be able to know what time it was. And oh, I guess the table needs legs, eh? That's handy. Okay. And there were families, and there were people who looked like every kind of relationship you can imagine. Like, there was one brand new baby that we think was meeting its dad for the first time, and there were little kids who, when they would come in the room, would run and jump into the arms of somebody who was living inside the prison. And it was really great to see all those beautiful interactions. All right, so that's the drawing. Now I'm going to do the inking. And I'll leave the hair for the young man, the facial hair, I'll leave it sort of rough, like I'll leave it blank right now, and I'll figure out a way to do it with the paint. And today I'm not saying that much because I'm really tired after this big long day. It was a pretty overstimulating environment. Lots of lights, lots of noises. They had games for people to borrow, like a game library. And so some people were playing Jenga, and that was pretty noisy. But it was fun to hear all the laughter and to see everybody really enjoying each other's company. There were a lot of loudspeaker announcements that were like when people could go to the bathroom who were inmates that were visiting people who came to see them. And so it was very noisy in that regard. It was really interesting to see how much of a family resemblance there was among some people, and some people that looked like they had a strong family resemblance but were multiple generations apart, and how the younger people were helping the older people walking with canes. And I think probably there were people from 0 to in the 90-year-old range in the room with us today. I'm just doing the picture of our table. Let's see what day it is today. Today is 5/88. And this is visiting a friend in prison. If I'm making incomplete sentences or dropping thoughts, it's because I'm so tired and so overstimulated. But hopefully you'll be patient and understand. I'll make some better videos later. I'm just going to move that to dust off the eraser dust. And then we'll get to painting. So let's see. We are all fairly fair-skinned folks. I guess that's how I'm going to do the facial hair, just layer it over the top of the face skin. His hair was not actually that orange, but I'm too tired to custom mix paint right now. And like I spoke about in the last video, what matters is that I have something here that tells the story. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be photorealistic. It just needs to tell the story. Come to think of it, I cannot remember what were the colors of the chairs. I am just that tired. Let's see, he was wearing a gray shirt, so I'm going to paint his shirt gray. There are all these rules for going to visit the prison, like you can't wear red, you can't wear gray sweatpants, or you can't wear any jackets. You get searched when you go in. Couldn't wear any jewelry like a watch or anything like that. So I left my watch and my wedding ring at home, so I didn't have to worry about keeping track of them. In general, I think that people in the waiting room are so happy to visit with each other. And I loved that they had like a game library where you could check out games and play games together. And that there was like a little play area for the little kids so that the parents and the little kids could play pretend together. And seeing all of the love between all of the children and their incarcerated parents was really wonderful. My friend has been in several prisons, and he and his family think this is the best one that he's been in, as in most accessible for them to visit, and the nicest environment, the best food, and the most efficient process for getting into the visiting area. It was like you see in the movies where you have to go through multiple layers of gates, fences covered in razor wire, very secure environment with many layers of security and protection. And it was interesting to see him and to be able to hear stories while I saw his face. And today I found out that actually it's possible to video chat with each other. I've been just doing phone calls with him, so I'm looking forward to having a chance to do some video chat and maybe do some breath work together with him. He seemed like he might be interested in that, so I'm going to offer that. I think the table was maybe like a darker gray. I'll do it in Payne's gray. It's so funny, I was so focused on the conversation and the people that I didn't notice the furniture. I did notice the artwork. There was some interesting artwork there. In the visiting room, there were like a variety of flags and also this sculptural installation in the ceiling that was all of these birds, 4 different varieties of birds that I could determine, and they were set up in a 4-armed spiral, and if you started at the center of the spiral and followed each arm of the spiral out toward the edge, it looked like what the frames of a video of a flying bird would look like. So it looked like the birds were flapping their wings. It was very interesting and beautiful, and in some ways I felt like it was a little bit cruel to remind people of something that's so free as birds flying when they're incarcerated. But I really appreciated all the work that went into what the artist provided as a way to decorate that space. It was very beautiful. I feel fortunate to have gotten to see this friend after several years of not being able to see him in person, and I look forward to the next time I can go visit him again. I think I'm going to make the chairs the same dark gray because I can't remember what color they were. It was a really great way to spend my day. in a lovely long conversation with my friend as we drove to visit this friend. I love spending time with her as I travel. We've traveled together several times, and it's always really wonderful to be together. Okay, so now I'm going to paint my shirt. We talked about all manner of things and about both of our paths of growth, and it's just so great to spend time. Usually we see each other on video chat, and so it was nice to be able to see each other in person. She's my holiday family, and we spend lots of our holidays together. Right now I'm living in America where we have Thanksgiving, and so the last in-person visit was at her house on Thanksgiving when I was coming out of the emergency room and went to see her that evening at Thanksgiving. Let's see, she had on a light gray shirt, I think. But I'm going to give it a tint of a color just because I don't want to have everything in the picture be gray. So I think I'm going to make it a light bluish green, which was not the color she was wearing. I'll color her shoe, and then that's it for the painting. All right.